There's an old saying that we've all heard before. It's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. And maybe that's true for some people, but today I beg to differ. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe God can use every situation for our good. I believe every lesson comes from pain and growth comes from disappointment. But when it comes to heartbreak, I'm struggling with the idea that I should be grateful just because I got the experience. I'm supposed to be thankful for the sleepless nights, the overthinking, the disappointment, the emotional roller coaster, the months it takes to put yourself back together after giving your heart to someone who couldn't hold it. I know, maybe that's where I am today because I've been through enough hurt to know I don't want any more of it. I worked too hard for my peace. I fought too hard for my healing. I prayed too hard to get to a place where my mind is finally settled. Peace became my residence. Then I opened that door again. I let my guard down. I allowed someone in, and now I'm sitting here asking myself if it's worth it. Up at 3 o'clock in the morning again. What makes it even harder is that sometimes people don't hide who they are. Sometimes they tell you. They tell you they're not ready right now. They tell you they have a lot going on. They tell you they need to get their mind right and get stable and get this and that. They tell you they can't give you what you deserve right now. The problem is they don't just tell you those things, but they also call, they text, they spend intimate time with you, they check on you, they show affection, they make you feel wanted, they make you feel important, they make you feel loved. So now you're stuck trying to reconcile two very different realities, what they're telling you and what they're showing you. And if you're anything like me, you start believing what they're showing more than what they're saying, because of course what they show looks so much better than what you heard months ago. You think maybe they just need a little time. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they'll get there eventually. Maybe their feelings will catch up. Maybe all they need is somebody to believe in them, to push them to their full potential. Yada, yada, yada. We all know the drill. But eventually, reality is going to show up. And reality is painful. Trust me, I know. Because one day you realize they were telling the truth all along. They weren't ready. And maybe the hardest pill to swallow is this. Maybe they just weren't ready for you. Now, let me stop right there because I need to take responsibility for my part in this. I take full responsibility. Nobody forced me to stay involved. Nobody forced me to believe. Nobody forced me to ignore what was being said because I preferred what was being shown. Nobody forced me to ignore all those, what we call red flags. I heard the words. I just hope the actions meant more. I hope the phone calls, the time spent, the affection meant more. I hope that eventually what they were showing me would outweigh what they told me in the beginning. And that's on me. I own that. But I've learned that hope can make you overlook reality. Hope can make you explain away warning signs. Hope can make you wait for a version of someone that may never exist. So yes, I take full responsibility for believing. I take full responsibility for staying longer than I probably should have. I take full responsibility for seeing the red flags and calling them possibilities. But what I'm not going to do is keep repeating this lesson. I'm not signing up for the same heartbreak again. I'm not volunteering for the same confusion again. I'm not sacrificing my peace again just because I'm hoping for a different outcome. Maybe that sounds guarded. Maybe that sounds like somebody who's broken or damaged goods. Maybe it sounds too cautious. And maybe it really is. But right now, protecting my peace feels a whole lot better than recovering from another broken heart. Because you can understand someone needing time. You can understand somebody healing. You can understand someone working through their life. But realizing that somebody cared about you and still couldn't choose you the way you needed to be chosen, that's a different kind of hurt. And if I'm honest, that's the part that makes me question the whole thing. Because if the end result is me having to recover my peace, recover my confidence, recover my joy, recover my emotional stability, then nope. Today, I don't feel like saying it was better to have loved and lost. Today, I feel like I could have done without the heartbreak. I could have done without the confusion. I could have done without the disappointment. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think people are always trying to hurt us. Sometimes they actually are just honest. Sometimes the most honest thing a person says is the thing we're hoping isn't true. And trust me, hope can be expensive. So maybe some people will say I have walls up. Maybe some people will say I'm guarded. Maybe some people will say I've become too cautious. Some may even say that I was just plain out stupid. And guess what? I don't care. Call it what you want to. This is my story and nobody can tell it better than me. I call it protecting my peace because at the end of the day, nobody is going to protect my heart better than me. And maybe one day love will be worth the risk again. Maybe one day I'll hear that saying and agree with it. Maybe one day I'll be willing to open that door again. But today, this day, I beg to differ. Love y'all to life. Talk to y'all next time.